Hi, welcome back to the 8-week MS Fitness Challenge. This is the second week of the challenge, and whether you're struggling with fatigue, combating foot drop, or having issues with balance, or all of the above, this is the place where you're going to be able to put your worries into action to use strength training exercises as an effective tool in the fight against MS. We got a lot more work to do, and there are only 7 more weeks until graduation. My name is David Lyons, and since I was diagnosed in 2006 with MS, I've dedicated my life towards helping those living with MS achieve positive mindsets through exercise and wellness. My foundation, the MSFC, has put thousands of people through the 8-week challenge to help them achieve all kinds of health benefits through exercising. Through donations and help from MS Workouts, we have updated the 8-week challenge so that it can be more effective for you. So you'll see that we're in a very different location. We're here in Boise, Idaho at the Vance Medical Clinic. This is the place that I actually work with our MS clients and help them beat the disease through fitness. Last week was your introduction. It was the start of your MS fitness journey. You may still be getting used to strength training and the steady pace technique, and you might be feeling a little bit sore. That's perfectly normal. However, if you're experiencing sharp or unusual pains of any kind, we recommend you stop the challenge and see your medical practitioner. Now, you should have performed the entire sequence 2 to 3 times last week. However, if you were only able to perform half the exercises, then that's okay. If you were only able to perform it once last week, then let that be your start. It's better to work out once a week than not at all. But I encourage you not to be lazy about this. It's easy to put off exercising. Don't put off exercising. Be consistent. Getting stronger happens one workout at a time. In this week's class, you'll be performing a brand new set of full body strength training exercises that combat foot drop and target weak core. I struggle with foot drop, and I know how incredibly difficult it can be to even go on a short walk. These exercises can help. It's all about strengthening your calves and the muscles around your ankle and foot. We want to add muscular strength and stability to that region, which will improve your gait and help prevent the dropping of the foot, because you'll be able to lift your foot better. Before we get started exercising, I want to challenge you one step further. I'd like you to record yourself doing whatever activity it is that you want to get better at. It can be walking around your house, going up the stairs, getting up out of a chair, walking to your mailbox, opening a jar, or whatever you want to improve on. Post that video on our Facebook group. In a few weeks, I'll ask you to post another video of you performing the same activity. See where I'm going with this? We'll do this again at the very end of the 8 weeks to compare. This is crucial. The proof is in the pudding. It's crucial that you get a record of yourself doing this now, while we're at the beginning of the 8-week challenge. 7 weeks from now, you'll be glad you did. I want your results to be something real for you guys, not just increased numbers on the progress journal. I want you to see how exercise can literally change your life. Let's quickly address a common question we get. Should I be finishing the entire exercise? With the steady pace technique, it's not about getting to the end of the exercise. It's not even about getting into the exhaust range. It's about fully exhausting the targeted muscles, even if that happens only 10 seconds into the exercise. That's great, actually, because it means you hit those muscles the way they need to be hit. It sounds strange, but when it comes to strength training, failure is success. If a workout is not challenging, then it isn't doing anything for you in terms of building strength. So don't be discouraged if your range of motion is limited or you have to disengage several times during the exercise. It's all about doing the best you can and engaging those weaker areas. Now let's grab our progress journals, turn on our fans, grab some water, and head over to the Central Texas Neurological Clinic so we can hear Jeff's strategies on how to stay motivated. Afterwards, you'll be performing your exercise sequence for the week. Give it your all. I believe in you.
Remind yourself why you are exercising, whether it's for yourself so that you can do your daily activities more easily or so that you can keep up with your family and friends. Dig down deep and focus on those reasons. Let your goals be the strength that drives your effort forward. Exercising is not always fun, especially if you're doing it right. Allow your goals to be the focus point you're thinking about during the toughest part of your exercises. You're traversing through that deep burn for a reason. Make sure you have your progress sheet ready, a bottle filled with cold water, thermostat turned down, and a fan pointed directly on you to combat overheating. Here we go. Let's execute a steady pace metabolic ab crunch, isolating these abdominals. All right, here we go. We're gonna hit a static hold, then a micro movement, then a static hold. Notice we have our fan rocking, we have our thermostat down. We wanna give our neurological system the best chance at winning so we don't overheat. All right, here we go. We're going to go palms on the thighs. Here in a second, not yet, I'm gonna demo for us. Slide all the way up, the fingertips with straight arms towards the knees, and we're gonna get a static hold. In this position, think about tucking your pelvic bone towards your chin. That little bit of rotation in your pelvis gives you more abdominal work. You should not feel this in the neck. If you feel it in the neck, you slowly disengage, shake it out, then ease back in. No nut time. All right, here we go. You ready, Miss Becky?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Slowly ease up. Clock is on. Tucking the pelvis. Think about relaxing our head. You can even drop your head back to a neutral position to make sure it's not going to be strained. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Almost like you're blowing air out of a straw. That's diaphragmatically breathing, making sure you're engaging these abdominals at a very high level and meaningful level. All right, 7 seconds here, and then we're gonna move into a micro. We'll be keeping the arms straight, relaxing the shoulders, not lifting with the head, lifting with the torso, making these abdominals work. Slowly start to lower with me, everyone's eyes to me. Pause. Now very slowly back up. We're not relaxing. Pause. Back down slowly. Now pause. Up slowly. Breathe all the way to the lungs and contract. Then heading back down. Feeling these abdominals work. Transition. Working the rectus abdominals. Transverse abdominals heading down. Intercostals. Pause. Back up. All for a purpose because we can be stronger than MS. We want a peripherally strong body. Transition. So if we want our central nervous system, one more micro movement. Back up, becomes impeded or exacerbated. Our muscles are strong, allows us to be confident and feel injury resistant. Here we go, crunching high. If and when you find that successful spot, you slowly ease out. Don't be stubborn. We're actively engaging these abdominals. Breathing freely, tuck that pelvis. Take what you can, crunch it as high as you can, and focus on continuing to breathe. We are looking for 3 more seconds. Crunching high. Breathing freely and slowly disengage. Holy burn. Woo! Sitting tall, grabbing that progress journal. Becky, good job there. You rocked that set. Focus on tucking that pelvis, crunching high. If you were able to execute the entirety of the set, next time attempt to crunch a little bit higher, tuck that pelvis, getting a little bit more out of that exercise every time to continue to prompt results.
We're going to execute a steady pace metabolic static hold armchair push-up. Whether you have armrests on your chair or no armrest, we're going to use the wheels or the armrests. All right, let's make sure we scoot forward. We're going to straighten our legs, flex our ankles. This exercise is going to work your triceps, back of your arms, the anterior delts with the shoulders, and the chest, upper body in general. This is great for functional strength movement, getting in and out of the chair, and allowing you to be confident in your strength and body. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to test this range of motion. We're going to press through hands at the top so that you're able to lift your rear end off the seat. Notice shoulders are depressed, slight bend in the elbows. All right. We will engage until we get to the point where we can no longer continue with proper form. All right, here we go. In 2 seconds, back is flat. 1, let's begin. Slowly press through. Elevate up, drop the shoulders. One of the things Tino stresses in regards to this armchair push-up is make sure you're able to clear your bottom up off of the seat. You're not using your feet, we're letting the upper body engage. If you need to remove a cushion from underneath the actual seat in your chair, do so. Allow yourself the ability to extend that upper body and lift that body up off of this chair. Breathing freely, dropping the shoulders, keeping the slight bend. It protects the elbows. Look at you go, Miss Elizabeth. Woo-hoo. Actively engaging. In through the nose, out through the mouth. When you get to the point where you can no longer continue with proper form, that's a success. Don't force a set. Slowly lower the hips, note in your mind on the clock where you found the successful spot so we can then record at the end of the set. You'll shake out that burn, attempt to go back in to the proper form, disengaged. Good, Miss Elizabeth, making a note. Miss Elizabeth, did you make a note where you found that disengagement?
45.
Perfect, so she'll remember that. As soon as she can, she's gonna jump back in and attempt to continue to work through the set. If you need hand cushions underneath your hands during the set, do so. Plan for that before the exercise set. Drop the shoulders, slight bend. We're in that exhaust zone. Shake is natural. Now remember, make sure that fan is on us. Make sure you're not overheating. If you feel yourself getting dizzy, nauseated, overheated, disengage. Don't be stubborn. Come back when you're ready and feeling cool. All right, here we go. Drop shoulders, slight bend, take what we can. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Holy moly, I'm getting close.
Yeah.
Calming that mind. 1, now all of us slowly disengaging. Excellent. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and make sure we're grabbing that progress journal. We're going to write down where we found the disengagement. Notice Miss Elizabeth found the disengagement before the 60 seconds. That is perfectly okay. Her goal next time in regards to her progress is okay, not plus or minus. And go ahead and make a note, Miss Elizabeth, that you want to try to make sure you pass that 48 seconds that you had last time. Most important thing is to give your best effort with proper form. We're going to execute an eccentric leg extension, unilateral movement, so we're separating out left and right. That way, if you have one weaker than the other, we can really focus and isolate on that one and let us get the most out of the exercise. We're going to hold for 4 seconds, lower for 10, relax for 3 seconds, reset. The goal is to hit 4, 5, or 6 reps ideally, which will take us no longer than 1.5 minutes of time under tension. We're isolating our quadricep or thigh, which will increase the functional ability of this lower body. Injury resistance, functional ability. That's why we do it, right?
Yep.
Okay, if you cannot, extend your knee all the way up and hold for 4 seconds and lower for 10 and bring the heel down. That's okay. We've got a modification for you. We're going to slide the band underneath, just like Miss Elizabeth is, your femur or your thigh. You're going to lift the thigh up and you'll elevate from that manner. That way the thigh does the work and you're not assisting the muscle. All right, let's go ahead and lift the knee up. If you're using the band, do so. Let's extend the leg in the air and hold. Breathe in freely, extend the knee completely. Now lowering for 10 seconds or slower. As you come down, you're thinking about bending the knee. As you come down to the ground, the heel will touch in 2, 1. Now relax for 2, 1. Now let's extend that knee all the way back out. Right now it's locked out. We're flexing that thigh, flex the ankle. Now slowly lower 10 seconds or slower. You're going to feel that thigh burn. Breathe into the nose, out to the mouth. 2, 1, and relax. Perfect. Now extend all the way out. Squeeze and hold at the top. 2 more seconds, 1 more second, now 10 seconds or slower. It may start to shake, it may start to rattle, it may start to roll, that's fine. It's the intent to engage these muscles neurologically that's going to prompt the change in the body. Relaxing 2, should start to feel a burn. 1, let's extend the knee all the way out, flex it for 2 more seconds, flex it for 1 more second, now bending slowly. Yes, ma'am. If you get to the point during the set where you can't continue with proper form, you note that in the progress journal, knowing that you successfully did it. You exhausted your muscle. We're relaxed. Follow the graphics. We're coming all the way up. We're flexing and holding. Yep, 2 more seconds, 1 more second, slowly lowering. Miss Elizabeth fully exhausted her muscles right at that 60-second mark, which is perfect. That means we got the most out of the body and we're prompting change. Relax, and that change is muscular strength. All right, here we go, all the way up. Squeeze and hold, breathe in freely, 1 second at a time, final effort together, 10 seconds or slower. Notice I'm even shaking right here. My quadriceps are fatigued. That's what we want. I'm clearly communicating those boogers. For 2, 1, and relax completely. Whew, deep burn. Really focused on squeezing that thigh, elevating, and taking the most you can from your body. Good job. We're going to execute an eccentric leg extension, unilateral movement, isolating the quadricep on our left side, which is going to increase the functional ability and strength of your lower body. Now, we have 2 variations. We've talked about it. If you cannot bring your leg all the way out, hold for 4 seconds and lower it to the ground for 10 seconds or slower, then you can use a band to assist yourself to give you some elevation to extend. Now, if you cannot even extend your leg on the way up, even if you lift it, that's okay. You can then slide that band down underneath the calf and literally help yourself to full extension. As you're lowering, try to slow down that lowering as much as possible as you lower. That's going to force the quadricep, the muscle, to engage. Ready to rock it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go to full extension. We're going to hold and flex for 4 seconds. 3, flexing, 2, 1, now 10 seconds or slower. Very deliberate and controlled on the lowering. Let the muscles lead the movement. The slower we go, the more the muscles are forced to engage. 2, 1 to the ground and relax for 3 seconds. Now let's go ahead and extend all the way to the air. Flex that thigh. Right now we're actively engaging it, trying to lock that knee out, slowly lowering on the way down. Notice I'm postured, I'm sitting tall. My spine is straight, my pelvis is neutral to protect my lumbar in the seat. 1 and relax. Whew, already feeling a burn. Now all the way up, squeeze and engage, holding, max contraction, elevate as high as you can, keep the ankle flexed, now 10 seconds or slower. Think about bending that knee, keep it slow and controlled, let this body work. It's all about results. For 2, 1, and relax, strengthening this left side. Extend into the air, we're rocking it, holding for 4 seconds. 3, breathing through that discomfort and that burn, slowly start to lower. Again, 10 seconds or slower. Really put those brakes on, make that muscle work, get the most out of the set. For 2, 1, and relax. We're there in the last 30 seconds. Let's extend back up, final 2 reps. Holding, flexing, reminding yourself while we're doing this, functional strength, right, of that lower body, independence of that lower body, smooth and controlled, flexing. I'm gonna start to shake, rattle, roll. I have no control over that, that's okay. For 2, 1, that's the muscles crying at me. 1 more here, all the way up. Best effort, flex and engage, squeezing, taking what we can. 2 more seconds. Now slowly start to lower. Final time we're lowering. Put the brakes on. Make them work extremely slow for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, good deep burn on this left side. Now make notations in your progress journal. Even if you're able to execute the entirety of the set, I would personally note my left leg really did shake, rattle, roll. There wasn't as much control, and that's perfectly natural and fine. We want to be measured from time to time, so give yourself prompts. Continue to give your best effort, increase the difficulty, and attempt to fully exhaust. we're going to execute a steady pace metabolic trunk circle, working this core, not only the obliques, transverse abdominals, rectus abdominals as well. Let's get after that trunk strength. Let's scoot forward just a bit into the chair. 2 different ways we can take our arms across the body until we get used to and comfortable with the technique and form, or you can come back behind your head with your hands, making sure your posture is tall. I would suggest starting with hands across until you're able to execute the entirety of the set and then increase the difficulty with the hands. All right, so this is a long range motion. Keep your eyes on me the entire time for prompts, cues, pace, tempo. We're looking to successfully exhaust the trunk in no longer than 130. All right, let's go ahead and get to the starting position. Posture the body up, hands across the chest or behind the head. Now, let's go ahead and slowly follow my lead. Clock is on, leaning forward, squeezing the abdominals, now to our right. Nice and slow, breathing freely, follow my lead. Now slowly heading back. As you come back, think about squeezing the abdominals, holy moly, feeling the abs. Now coming back forward. Now, eyes to me, follow my tempo. Breathing freely, we're forward, back is flat. Pause at the front. Now slowly head back across. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Don't run off. If you find yourself faster than Miss Elizabeth or myself, slow it down, catch back up with us. The entire time squeezing these abdominals back to the front. Now flatten your back out right here. Chest up, slowly to the right, breathing freely. Notice I'm not collapsing my body at all during this set. I'm flattening out. We're at the back, pause. Now slowly come forward, keeping your eyes on me, breathing freely, leaning forward, keep the back flat in posture, squeezing the core, pause at the front, flatten the back, now slow to the right. Metabolic engagement here. If you start to lose form during the set, that just means you're successfully exhausted. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. You disengage, note the time so we can make sure we're marking in our trusty progress journal, and then you would jump back in and try to finish the set with us. Here we go. In that exhaust zone, we're at the back, pause. Now slow forward, flatten the back out, squeeze the abdominals, gauge that core, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathing freely back to the center. One more full time around. Slow and controlled. Flatten our back out. Squeeze that core. In through the nose. Out to the mouth. Coming forward for the final time. And we're all disengaging slowly. Now, good work right there, Miss Elizabeth, in regards to heading completely around, not getting too quick, following my tempo. Miss Elizabeth's going to go ahead and write a plus next to her progress journal on the trunk circles, and she's going to indicate she'll take her hands up behind her head next time to increase the difficulty just a little bit. Foot drop is something that a lot of individuals deal with. Foot drop has to do with the weakening of not only the neurological connection to the lower limb of your leg, but also the muscles start to atrophy around the area of the ankle. So what we're going to execute here today is an assisted dorsiflexion eccentric set with the right leg. So I'll explain all that here in a second. What it's going to do is it's going to help and assist not only the muscles engaging and firing, but the neurological system. For those of you, let me spit it out, that can't literally lift that foot up very well, even at all. So let's go ahead, Miss Becky, let's grab the band, or you can grab a towel, whatever you have. We're gonna slide it underneath the foot. Now we want to sit forward so that our ankle is directly under our knee. We're going to, with the band, help our foot all the way up. So bring the toe up. If you can, do it yourself. Bring the toe all up as high as you can. Let's hold here for 5, 4, holding 3, should feel it flexing on the outside of the leg. Now slowly lower, 10 seconds, 9 to the ground, 8, 7, nice and slow, 6, 5, 4, breathing 3, 2, and 1. Now let's bring the toe back up. If you have to lift with the band and use that, you can. We're holding 3 more seconds and bring the toe as high as you can. Now slowly lower, 10 seconds or slower. Now by going slow on the way down, you're really forcing these muscles to do the work. By going quick, you don't let the muscles work as well. Momentum's engaged. Now back up, bring the toe up. If you have to use the band, use it. Squeeze, bring that toe up as high as you can. Flex the outside of that leg. Now slow on the way down. We're working your anterior tibialis as well as the muscles on the top of your foot here. As we come down slowly, 2 to the ground, 1 to the ground. Now reset, toe come up as high as you can. Hold for 5 seconds. Keep bringing that toe up. You should feel the muscles in the top of the feet and the outside of the leg engaging. Slowly lower. 10 seconds or slower here. And if it starts to shake, rattle, roll, or you're not even able to move the foot, that's okay. Make a note in your progress journal at what time that happens. Back up. And we will continue to focus on trying to get the most out of it as we go forward, right? Progressive overload. Now we're lowering. 10 seconds here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just looking to engage the body and take what we can, right? Control what you can control. For 2, 1, and relax. Right, one last time. Toe all the way up. Flex it. Keep it as high as you can. Try not to pull at the band as much as possible. Make the muscles do the work. Now slowly lower. 10 seconds or slower. Try not to let that band help too terribly much. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Nice work. Now, go ahead and make a notation in your book. If you had to use the band or the towel a whole lot, make a notation. You ideally want to get to the point to where you're not having to use that band as much. If you felt that you had to use the band or the towel on a specific rep, write that down too. That way you know when the muscles are fatiguing in the entirety of the set. So we can be very measured and progressive. You should again feel the burn on the outside of the actual anterior tibialis for the muscles, as well as the top of the foot. This will help with foot drop, so make sure you're doing it. Rock and roll. All right, let's execute an exercise that's going to fight against foot drop. We're going to grab a band and or a towel. This is an exercise that can be executed whether you have a very strong lower limb and you can lift your foot and you just sometimes have issues with lifting that foot, or you cannot lift your foot at all, okay? This is an exercise that's going to allow us to get that neurological connection working between the muscles and your lower leg, your head, your brain, right? So let's go ahead, ankles underneath the knee. We're going to go eccentric in nature. So in a second, we're going to pull the toe up. Now, when I say pull the toe up, you're going to think about trying to lift with your foot. If you can't lift it with your foot, then use the band to help yourself pull all the way up. You're going to go to full flexion, which means bring the toe as high as you can. We're going to hold there for 5 seconds. We're going to lower for 10 seconds. When we get to the ground, we'll relax. Then we're going to reset to the top. Now, continue to focus on letting that foot and that anterior tib and that ankle work on its own. All right, all the way up. Squeeze and hold at the tip top. 5 seconds here. For 4, 3, as high as you can. 2, if you have to lift, lift. 1, slowly lower. 10 seconds or slower. And it's important to go extremely slow on the way down to let those muscles work. As you go down for 3, 2, toe will hit the ground. 1, relax. Now bring it all the way back up. Yep, flex that ankle, toes as high as you can. And if you're feeling it work, you're going to feel the outside of the leg burn, engage. We're slowly lowering now. You will even feel the top of your foot. If you don't feel it, that's okay. Just like Becky's doing here for 3, 2 to the ground. 1, keep your eyes on that foot. So bring the toe up, keep your eyes on that foot. Even if you can't feel it, toes up as high as it can come. We're holding here for 2 more seconds. 1, now slow on the way down. Really exaggerate the pace because that allows the muscles to do the work, keep the momentum out. Here we go for 3, 2 to the ground. 1, we'll re-engage, bring it up. Good, Becky, I see you rocking. Bring that toe all the way up yourself. Squeeze and engage, flex. Try to go as high as you can with the toe. You should feel the burn on the outside of the leg. Now lowering, 10 seconds or slower. Keeping the momentum out allows us to be safe and effective. We want to be measured as well. For 2, 1, relax. Here we go. All the way up. Flex the ankles, squeeze at the top and breathe. For 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and 1. Now as slow as we can. Again, if you can, start to loosen and relax that band or that towel and let that muscle work as much as possible. If your leg is shaking, rattling, and rolling right now, that's okay. 1 at the turnaround, relax, come all the way up. We're in a controlled environment here. Last one right here. Breathing freely for 4, 3, toe high, 1. Now as slow as we can, 10 seconds or slower, last effort. Try to release and relax the band as much as possible. Let the muscles do the work for 2, 1, and relax. Woo. Take the foot forward, point that toe, stretch, point that toe away. You have lengthened the anterior tibialis and relaxing. So take what you can. If you can't lift your foot all the way, that's all right, use the band. But during the set, really focus on trying to use the band as little as possible to let those muscles do the work. Water, fan, keep it cool, make the progress journal notes, and get what you can from your body. Let's execute an exercise that's going to help combat foot drop. This is a beginner to intermediate exercise. You take what you can from your body with us. Make notes in your progress journal, and when you attack it the next time, we will see progress. All right, so we're going to go to heel-toe rock. I'm going to give a little demonstration and talk through first. We have a chair in front of us, but you can use a countertop, you can use your bedpost, you can use the bathroom counter, anything like that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to heel-toe rock, eccentric set. So we're going to start in a second. You don't have to do this yet, Miss Becky. We're going to come all the way up to the tiptoes. We're going to hold for 5 seconds. We're going to lower for 10 seconds. Once our heels hit the ground at that 10-second mark, we're going to rock back to our heels, up to our toes, and then all the way back up. It'll be about 6 full repetitions. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. Okay, so let's go to the tip top. Come all the way up. Yep, onto the toes, evenly to both feet, and we're holding. Let's go 4 more seconds, 3 more seconds, just as high as you can. Now slowly lower, 10 seconds or slower. Squeezing the abdominals, keeping the torso nice and postured and erect as you come down for 4, 3, heels are gonna hit the ground, 2, 1, rock back to the heels. There you go, Becky. Now to the toes, and then all the way up, extend the ankle. This is working not only the calves, but it's giving you a good stretch as well. Slowly lower, so ankle extension, right? As well as getting a good stretch on the calf on the way down, working all the muscles in the front of the leg, the back of the leg, rock back to the toes. Now extend to the ceiling just as high as you can. Now if you can't even come up off the ground when you attempt to come up, that's perfectly fine. Lowering slowly. You just attempt to pressure the toes and try to come up as high as you can. For 3, 2, 1, let's rock back. Now to the toes. Now just press through the toes, engage, attempt to go as high as you can. You go as high as you can. 1, now slowly lower. Even again, if your heels are not coming off the ground, just firing those calves and those muscles that are allowing us to extend, that's going to help prompt the body in the direction you want it to be. Roll back. Now to the toes. Good, Becky. Now extend all the way up, trying not to use the hands as much as possible. Now slowly lowering, 10 seconds or slower. Really focusing on this lower body engagement of not only flexion but extension of that ankle. For 3, 2, here it comes. 1, now rock back, pull the toes up. Now toes back down, all the way up. It's squeeze and hold right here. Last effort, here we go. As high as you can. Now slowly lower, 10 seconds or slower right here. Really focusing on going slow with the heel to the ground is going to allow us to lengthen and let the muscles work. For 2, 1, relax. You can actually bring those toes up, let it stretch a little bit, and done for. Make sure you got the cool environment, make sure you got the water, make sure you're making notes in your progress journal so that the next time we come against this exercise, we can make sure we're being measured, right? So, Miss Becky, any feedback? Did you feel any difference between your right and left foot?
My right has a little bit of a foot drop, so it's a little bit harder to lift them up.
Perfect, and she would make that notation, and that is why we were doing this exercise, to prompt a more pliable and strong nature to that right side. Hooah, rock and roll. Let's take some time here to stretch out our right hamstring. We're gonna sit towards the front of the chair. Let's go ahead and straighten our right leg all the way out. Posture the body. Notice our toe, knee facing the ceiling. We're gonna go both palms on our right leg. Let's slowly slide the torso down towards the thigh. No need to really reach and stretch down to your toe. That's not what we're looking to do. Clock is rolling. We're going 30 seconds on. We'll disengage, 30 seconds back on, disengage, then one more 30 seconds. In a hamstring stretch, what you're really looking to do is take your torso down to your thigh. This whole reach and touch your toe thing, don't worry about that, right? All that's gonna do is make you shrug your shoulders, and it has nothing to do with actually getting some flexion out of the hip and stretching this hamstring. So think about just taking your face down towards your knee. Breathing freely, feeling a deep, good stretch. 3 more seconds, and everyone slowly easing out, sitting tall, bend the knee if you need to, taking some pressure off. Let's go ahead and sit tall. Take your chest, torso, nose down towards your knee. Breathing freely, keeping the leg straight, ankle flexed, only far enough down to feel a comfortable stretch. You should not feel discomfort here. What we like to say sometimes, even in the studio or in the PT office, is a comfortably uncomfortable stretch. Breathing freely, in through the nose, out through the mouth, keeping that ankle flexed. 2 seconds, slowly easing all the way out, sitting tall. One more time, leaning all the way down. Breathe all the way to the lungs, lengthening this posterior chain back out. Very important to stretch, right? Not only after exercise, but on a daily basis to keep that spasticity at bay or completely away. Also allows the pliable nature of the muscles so that the joints don't get too much tension into them. You stay healthy, strong, injury resistant. All right, 5 more seconds. Just relaxing, breathing, good stretch. Let's all slowly ease all the way out, taking the tension off that hamstring. Keeping that leg straight, again, taking the torso to the thigh. Don't worry about reaching down and forcibly trying to touch those toes. Let's take some time here to stretch out our left hamstring. Let's scoot to the edge of the seat, Miss Becky. Straighten your left leg all the way out. We want to flex the ankle, heel into the ground. Notice toe, knee facing up. Both hands on the right thigh. We know we're not focused on touching the toe. Let's take our chest down towards our thigh. Just want some flexion out of the torso. Clock is rolling. We're gonna go 30 seconds on. We'll ease out, 30 seconds on. Ease out, then 30 more seconds. Just relaxing, breathing, sinking down. Again, not worried about trying to touch the toe, just taking the chest and the nose towards your knee. That's gonna give you more of a stretch in the back of that leg. Again, hamstring is the back of the leg. It attaches up high underneath that rear end of the glute and comes all the way down to the back of the knee. Into the nose, out to the mouth. Gonna feel a stretch in your back as well here. 2 more seconds. 1, now everyone's slowly easing out, sitting tall, taking the tension off. Let's go ahead and ease right back down and in. Great exercise that can be done at the desk, can be done after your exercise, really and truly anywhere. Find somewhere to take a seat, straightening the leg out, focusing on the form, not forcing it, just getting a very comfortable stretch. Believe it or not, the hamstrings and the glutes are a culprit to a tight back. A lot of times people don't realize it, but stretching a tight hamstring and glute a lot of times will alleviate the stress and the tension into the lumbar. All right, sitting tall, disengage, last time, right back in. Thinking about taking that chest down to the thigh. Notice each time we disengage and then head back into the stretch, you may even be able to get down deeper and deeper. That's perfectly fine, okay? You just continue to take as much of a stretch as you can. Breathing, relaxing. Shouldn't feel any pain whatsoever in any of the joints, just a comfortable stretch. All right, 6 more seconds here. Just relaxing and breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth, comfortable stretch, disengaging, slowly sitting nice and tall. A comfortable lengthening of these hamstrings and that posterior chain leads to a pliable posterior chain and stress off that low back. Let's execute a calf stretch on our left leg. An exercise that'll help spasticity in that lower limb and add some more mobility to that ankle. You ready to rock it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and straighten the left leg all the way out. Miss Becky's using a TheraBand, which basically is going to go on the forefoot of her foot to anchor it in place. Notice she's using a silver because that's a thicker band. It's going to allow her to get more of a stretch. I'm using a karate band, or belt rather, that we have here at the Central Texas Neurology Consultants. So that you can see, you can use a t-shirt, a towel, anything that you have laying around in order to create that stretch. You ready to rock and roll?
Yes, sir.
All right, Miss Becky. I'm gonna slide my karate band over my foot. We're going 3 30-second stretches with a full disengagement for a second in between. So let's go ahead and straighten left leg, sit tall, very slowly start to apply pressure, bring toe towards knee, clock is on. Now, notice my leg and Miss Becky's legs are both straight, okay? If it's too much of a stretch to straighten your leg, don't focus on keeping your knee locked. You can bend that knee a little bit, which will give you a little bit less of a stretch and allow you to get what is comfortably stretched into your leg. Now, if you want more of a stretch, focus on straightening that leg to allow yourself to get a good, comfortable, deep stretch. Do not lock and force that knee down though. All right, slowly disengage. We've made that first 30 seconds. Point toe, bring toe back. Good stretch, mobility is being increased, spasticity is being fought. Think about breathing freely. Also, relax our shoulders down away from those ears consciously. We'll all have a tendency to want to tighten up during these stretches. Don't do so. That would be counterproductive. All right, calming that mind. We have 7 more seconds. Go ahead and keep that booger flexed, ankle flexed, toe towards knee, good stretch into the calf. Now slowly disengage, pointing that toe. Let's go one more 30-second increment. All right, slowly bring a toe back to the knee. Good deep stretch. Now you can execute these stretches daily. You can execute these stretches multiple times a day. Movement and getting blood flow to an area that is spastic and or tight is good, great, wonderful. Miss Tina suggests that you do this very same stretch 3 times a day, doesn't she, Miss Becky?
Yes.
Yes. Breathing freely. 3 more seconds here. 2 more seconds here, and 1. Let's all slowly disengage, point that toe, add a little bit more range of motion, mobility to the ankle, and disengage. Again, do this exercise, or not exercise, stretch rather, let me spit it out. Daily, 2 to 3 times a day. Get some movement in that area. Let's execute a calf stretch on the right leg. Seated tall, obviously. Scoot towards the end of the seat. This is an exercise, again, that's going to lengthen this calf. Your calf muscle, when it is tight, is going to limit the mobility in your ankle, extension and flexion. So, do this exercise if you want more mobility in that right ankle. Okay, so I'm going to use a karate band that we've got here from the Central Texas Neurology Consultants, showing you that you can not only just use that thicker TheraBand, which is nice because you can anchor to your foot, but a t-shirt, towel, something else that allows you to apply pressure. We're gonna execute this stretch 3 different 30-second increments, disengaging for a full second between. You got it, Miss Beck?
Yes.
You ready to rock it?
Yes.
Okay, sit up tall. I'm gonna slide my karate band around the bottom of my foot. Leg is straight. Let's go ahead and very slowly now pull the toe towards your knee until you get a comfortable stretch. Clock is on. Breathing freely, dropping your shoulders, keeping that slight pressure, sitting up tall in the chair, squeezing the abdominals. You should not feel any pain or discomfort in your low back, your knee, your ankle, your neck, anywhere. This is a stretch, right? We all love stretches. Gonna help combat spasticity and stiffness in that right ankle. Just give yourself enough pressure to feel a deep stretch. All right, 2 more seconds. 1 more, and I'll follow my lead. Everyone slowly relax, point the toe away, extend. Now go ahead and slowly bring toe back in towards the knee. Make sure that TheraBand is nice and secure on that foot. We're in that deep stretch. You can think about softly straightening your knee. Softly straightening that knee to get a deeper stretch in the back of that calf. If you're extremely tight, don't worry about straightening that knee. Think about bending the knee slightly in order to take more stress off the back of the knee. Everyone slowly disengage. Good, Becky, you're on top of it. Now let's go ahead one more time. Bring toe in. Good stretch. Breathing freely, lengthening this right calf. In through that nose, out through that mouth. Make sure you're relaxing your shoulders down away so your traps, your upper back neck doesn't get involved into this. Calming that mind. Again, a straightening of the leg to get a deeper stretch, a bend of the knee to take a little bit of a stretch out. 2 more seconds. 1 more, and slowly disengaging, taking the tension off. Pointing that toe, moving that ankle around to allow that mobility to get back to that ankle.
let's execute a lying abdominal stretch. This stretch is going to lengthen the anterior side of your body and get you a good stretch into your abdominals. Notice Becky and I are already lying on the ground. Let's go ahead and put our hands in front of us, almost like we're going to do a push-up. You're going to simply lift your head, press through your hands until you feel a comfortable stretch in your abdominals. If you can extend all the way up, do so. You can also take your eyes and head all the way up. Clock is on. As you take your chin and lengthen your eyes and your head up, you're going to feel it stretch and lengthen all the way down into that pelvic area. Lifting that torso, breathing freely. You can lock the arms, but don't rotate an extreme lock because you don't want to injure your elbows. You should not feel any discomfort in your low back at this point. Just relaxing, breathing, get a good, comfortable stretch on the anterior side of that body. Eyes, head up. One more second. Now let's very slowly come all the way down. Take the stretch off rather. All right, one more time. Head all the way up. Breathing through it all the way up. I say one more, we're gonna do it two more. 3 30-second increments. Eyes up, head up, lengthen, stretch, relax shoulders. Again, should not feel any discomfort in your low back. This is simply a stretch to lengthen the tissue back out. Breathe freely, calm the mind. There you go, 2 more seconds. One more, now slowly ease all the way down and out. One more time, Miss Becky, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, all the way back in. Lengthen, comfortable stretch. Eyes, chin up. Feel that stretch to the front of the body. Relaxing, breathing, letting the hips and the lower body just sink into the floor and enjoy the stretch. We have no more than 7 more seconds. Drop shoulders down, lift torso, chin up. Breathe freely and allow the body to stretch. All right, all the way slowly down and out. And relaxing. Reminding yourselves to do this daily, specifically on those active rest days. Lengthen those abdominals out. Let that body feel the good stretch.
Welcome back, everyone. Before you leave, please make sure you perform all the exercises in this video 2 to 3 times a week and write down your results. Next week, we'll be performing a mobility session where we'll introduce new leg exercises. Don't forget to post on Facebook a video of yourself performing an activity you want to improve on. See you next week.